Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday morning, July 17th. We're looking at the last 2 days of the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And just a quick couple of notes before we get to today's action. First and foremost, I appreciate everybody who has subscribed to me on YouTube and on Twitter. I hope I'm helping. What I would like to ask, and I'll tell you why I'm asking it, is if you do like my videos, please give me a like, and I would love to hear comments, right? If there's something specific you like, please comment on it. If there's something you don't like, I have gotten a couple of dislikes, let me know what it is and see if I can correct it. I'm curious to know why somebody would dislike the video. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm doing a publication for some service that they're going to publish probably in August, so I'd love to add some nice comments in them. Second, I'm going to start doing some podcasts. Probably won't start until August. I have a busy couple of weeks coming up at the end of July, but in August I'm going to start doing some podcasts with hopefully my mentor as my first one, and then former alumni from the New York Stock Exchange, both people I worked with and people that worked with me at my firm and people I worked with directly on the floor of the exchange. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I will keep you updated on that. Okay, let's get to what's going on today. First thing I'm going to mention, and I don't know, it doesn't look likely, but there is something we have to keep aware of on the triple Qs, if by some chance. Now we're looking to, well, they're unchanged, but we're looking to open slightly higher right now. But if they have some kind of reversal day and close down, any close below 255.43 would be an outside week down, which would be fairly negative on the intermediate term. I don't expect it, but just something to keep an eye on. Right now it looks like they're going to close in balance in the weekly. Right? That's going to be the first time in a while, so it'll be interesting when they come out of that. As for us, we are in balance, and we have to give the bulls some credit because each time they get to the top of a balance and they get smacked right down. However, 2 days in a row now, sellers had a chance to get into that price probe from the 14th and barely got into it, only to finish stronger on Wednesday, only to finish stronger on Thursday, and now, with just over an hour to go, they're looking to possibly gap higher today. Again, 323.41. They need acceptance over that. If they get it, that huge gap then becomes the main magnet, main target for the algorithms to fill that and to finally get our all-time high. I said about a week ago, well, I've been saying it for a while, at some point, either we're going to catch fire and catch up to the NASDAQ, or they're going to roll over and start coming back to us. Well, it seems to be that's the case. So the way we were lagging behind them when they were up a point and we were up only half a percentage point, you have to keep in mind now, if NASDAQ is acting worse than us, it doesn't mean we're necessarily going to go down. I think it's a case of them coming back to us. Very important to realize. All right. Go over destinations and a game plan. So right now, with just over an hour to go, I'm still going to use yesterday's high. I'm going to use it on both sides. 321.28 is our first upside destination. Then 321.36. Now remember, that changed because we gapped below it to an upside. Well, now we're possibly gapping above it to make it a downside destination. We still have not traded at that POC, 321.36. It's either going to be an upside or downside destination, depending on if we trade above it. Then 323.04, then the critical 323.41 monthly high, and above that 324.61 daily high. Now, our pre-market high right now is 321.73. It continues to go higher. So that certainly looks like it's going to change. For the downside, if we open above the POC from the 15th, it's then a downside destination again. It'll be a naked POC 2 days in a row of 321.36. Then it would be yesterday's high of 321.28 if we gap. Then we had a price probe yesterday. You realize this will be the fourth day we've had a price probe, and we've gapped the next morning in the direction of the price probe. That's how it used to work. A probe was telling you that the market was, attempting to go higher, and we weren't going to know until the next day if it continues, and usually it did. Now, recently it hasn't worked that way, but these 4 days it has. Now, on the other side of that, each and every time we've gapped from the price probe, that gap has been filled. Okay, and just quickly on a probe, because I've had questions on this. Price probe or price spike, a lot of people use different terms, happens in the last half hour of trading when you either make a new high or a new low. The reason it's probing is because you don't know until the following day if it's accepted or not. So even though we closed below it by a little bit, we could have closed at the low of the day yesterday. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't have been until a period opening whether we say it's accepted or rejected. So I hope that clears that up. So then below yesterday's high, 320.86, the price probe from yesterday would be a destination. And then 320.02, 12 wide. We just missed going perfect POC yesterday. And then yesterday's low of 319.09, which is also a poor low. And then the price probe of 317.67, which provided some very nice cushion or support for the buyers as they dipped into it the last 2 days. So what's the game plan for this morning? Well, if we gap higher, and again, if we gap higher at a reasonable length, I would look to take a call play, right? And for me, that's possibly $1 or less. So that's getting over $1. You know that I like to see if we get an inventory adjustment. So we're going to have gap rules and balance rules again today on the gap, just like we've had the last couple of times we've gapped higher. Here, right? So that's very important to keep in mind. So we closed, the high yesterday was 321.28. If we are to gap higher, anywhere up to the 322.25 level, I would look to take a call play and then see if we can go and take out both M's high and that daily high before we attempt the balance high of 323.41. That would be a call play. If we start opening closer to M's high or this high, again, I will not take a call play. If we get closer to 323.41 on an opening, I would look to take a put play because traders are going to do its work until it doesn't work anymore, and that's to sell the top of a balance, just the way they buy the bottom of a balance. So that's something to keep in mind. So that would be a put play if we opened a lot higher, a call play if we open within $1 of yesterday's high. If in the next hour we do not gap higher, then I'll see if the price probe holds. If it does, I'll take a call play here, but I would be out if the price probe gets rejected because then the odds of trading to a 12-wide POC would be very, very good. Again, voice channel room at camelbacktrading.org is giving you these up-to-the-second trade ideas as the day is about to begin and throughout the entire trading day. Okay, let's go to the charts. Monthly, a little bit past halfway through the month. And remember, don't forget, today's also an expiration. We're one time framing up 2 months. The next goal, the big goal, is to get above last month's high and stay above it and accept it. If you do, the next goal on the monthly is our all-time high. And remember, the all-time high in both the SPY and ES is in the overnight. That's never held. It's been holding for a while, and there's always a first time, but it has never held. Weekly, attempting to bust out of an 8-week balance. If we get above 323.41 but close below it, nothing's changed. If we get close to it and come back in, nothing's changed. At some point, one side or the other is going to have to take control. They can't keep testing the top of a balance without exploding through it. And on the flip side, they can't keep getting rejected and think bears are not going to finally take control and push this to the bottom of the balance. Something's got to give. Might not be today, but I'm going to say very soon, something has to give. And then in the daily, it's the same scenario. Huge balance, But now this is the one I want to focus on because that's the monthly high. This is the 317.16 is the bottom of that balance. So this 4-day balance is the key one because we're inside of it. Plain and simple. Acceptance above this, we start going. If not, eventually, first destination, rotate to the bottom of that balance, which is 317.16. And then if you get below that, you're into this entire mess. Pre-market volume very light today. So again, it's been short-term traders. That's who we're dealing with. Keep that in mind. Come check us out, camelbacktrading.org. Have a great day trading, and we'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.